G'day guys, I'm Chris Dorr, and on today's lockdown lesson we're going to teach you how to throw larger and or heavier flies. Now if I need you to throw this at a fish, then it's up to you to be able to cast it to the fish, because that's possibly the only chance you're going to have of catching that fish. Now, many people shy away from larger or heavier flies simply because they're rather troublesome to cast. The line never seems to straighten for people, they kick around like anything, it's a heck of a thing to lift out of the water. But this can be made a lot easier by implementing some fundamental casting mechanics. Now, first thing we're going to do is eliminate our slack line. With that fly down in the water, we're going to keep our rod tip down low, touching the water, and taking those extra few strips until we're in complete contact from our line hand all the way through to the fly. No slack line whatsoever. We're going to employ a long slow lift and a big bold overhead back cast and pause. The very first lift out of the water, there's generally not going to be a lot of line speed in the cast, so it's going to take quite a while for our fly and our line to tighten behind us. Once we've got that tension in the cast, we own it. Now let's run through a few things we can do to make casting these larger or heavier flies easier for you. First of all, slow down. We don't need a lot of line speed, and so if we slow our stroke down, we reduce the line speed, which reduces the kick of these big flies as they straighten behind and in front of us. What we're also doing is taking the focus off the rod tip and bending our rod a little bit deeper down into the thicker, more powerful butt section, which is what we need to do to be able to present and move these flies. Next thing we're going to do, if we remember back, we're going to widen our casting arc. Quite simply, that's going to open up the loop and keep those bigger flies further away from our rod tip, further away from our line, and further away from us. Next thing a lot of people like to do is go up a line size, because it takes mass to move mass. Now, most rods these days can handle a line above their rating. I mean, you can throw a 7 weight on a 6 weight rod, it's going to slow things down, but remember, we don't need line speed. That extra mass of that 7 weight line is going to help energize and move these big flies. Now, elimination of slack line is mentioned through our haul, through our stroke, and from that initial pickup from the water. We need to make sure things remain tight, because the slightest bit of slack line in this system with a big fly like that, it is going haywire. Then finally, let's look at elliptical casting. Now, I did another spiel on Facebook a while ago in detail on elliptical cast, but basically what we're going to do is eliminate any kick whatsoever by removing that back cast and that forward cast and creating more of a circular stroke. We're going to be pulling that fly around into the back cast and through the forward cast rather than flicking it. Now, here's how we can do it. With our hand back in our usual pantomime station, we're going to throw a sidearm back cast. And we're going to pull it up and over into our forward cast. Sidearm back cast, overhead vertical forward cast. Imagine that you're holding a piece of chalk on the end of your fly rod and you're drawing an upward shaped oval on a chalkboard. Sidearm, overhead, sidearm, overhead, sidearm, overhead. Now, as you can see, there's no real pause in this, so that way the fly does not have a chance to straighten, tighten the line, pull away and kick back towards you, generating that evil slack line. Now, I'm Chris Dorr, and there are a few ideas of how to deal with larger and heavier flies. Cheers.